Then we'll move into the guided meditation aspect that Dr. J will lead for us, and then we will complete that move out, and we will share our message. So, please welcome Dr. Jelusich.
Comfortably. Breathe comfortably. A contented feeling of knowingness that the love of the Christ is within your heart. And imagine that your mind, all of your thoughts, are like the ringlets of a purse. And you have a string, and with a single pull of that string, you can pull all those thoughts together. With very little effort, bring yourself into this place, into this time, into this moment. Feel yourself composed. And within every person is the seed of the Christ. And it comes forth when we look within, when we feel that contentment within ourselves, we know all is perfect within. And when we dare to let that love come forth, when we dare to let unconditional love express itself through our actions, our thoughts, and our intentions, this is how our mind becomes tame, calm, centered. Because we are beyond our thoughts. The mind issues the thoughts forth, and they go out into the physical world. And yet, within the center of your being is that great seed of Christ, the great consciousness of unconditional love, wisdom, and faith. It is the peace, the joy, the purity, and the faith within you. And as you dare to bring them forth into the world, it not only defines your character, but it also eases the burdens of others. Others who have difficulty finding their way, who suffer, who have challenges. Within you is limitless power, limitless love, limitless wisdom of the Christ. Feel it as a tree, strong, rooted in the earth, with its limbs in heaven. And that you are the soul who is holding the balance. principles of harmlessness and compassion be the ever-present, ever-constant guide of your every intention, your every thought, your every action. And so it is, and so it shall be. It is done. Amen. And breath in, and breath out. And breath in deeply, and breath out, feeling centered, focused, and grounded. It is truly an honor to be here in this room with you and to listen to the wonderful music that you've created, whether it's instrumental or vocal. I always find myself wondering how I would do, were I the one singing or playing an instrument. And so I think I honor you for that, to be able to tune yourself into such beautiful harmonic rhythms of the universe and to bring it physically into this room. It's an honor. Thank you. So, what a great day to be together right after the solstice. Of course, you're aware that in the southern hemisphere they're celebrating another kind of solstice, right? You know that yesterday was the summer solstice, the longest day. And so, just like our planet has on a single day the most light and the least light, we also have this amazing balance within us. And the theme for this month is life. And what is life? Life is about balance. And each one of us, you look around the room and you see so many different kinds of individuals, people, younger, older, male, female. We all have this uniqueness about us. We sit in the room and we listen to this particular sermon. And each one of us comprehends and changes the meaning in a way that we understand. So you're driving home today or you're going home and you say, well, what happened today? And each one of you might give a little bit different interpretation. So we each uniquely perceive how we hold that balance in a different way. And yet each person has the ability to do just that. And the Buddhists joke about it. They say you got to spend a whole life getting to know who you are, so at the end you can let all go. Does it not? And we have pain sometimes. One of my favorite movies was 1995. It's called The Lion King, one of Pixar's first movies for Disney. And the adolescent lion is out in the field with Rafiki. Rafiki is the baboon who's the shaman, the wise elder. And he has this long walking stick and he whacks the lion over the head. And the lion goes, what did you do that for? And Rafiki says, but does it matter? It's in the past. And that's hard for us. That's hard for us because we all have our owies and things of the past that are hard to let go of. But I wanted to speak a little bit about Christ. And I know that we're living in an age of social media networking where the rapidity by which information is reproduced is amazing. Not just the rapidity, but the sheer volume of information that is available to us is astounding. One can use their iPhone, their Android, and look at the Upanishads, tour the Louvre in France, look up historical dates, astroarchaeology, all kinds of information. And we're living in a time where we have a lot of unanswered questions. And I believe that the reason for that is we've come to a place as human beings where we are ready to know those unanswered questions. The trick is, if you ask the question, you have to be willing to endure the answer. It's just like, the old saying, the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off, right? So, as we're living in this era of inner transformation, remember 1 year ago, we were just one day after the end of the Mayan calendar. And the Mayan calendar is amazing. It goes back 16.4 billion years with a B. Most people don't know that. And that it repeats. And that the end of the calendar was a year and a day ago. So people were going, what's going to happen? And yet, what it means is, here we are a year later, and we still seem to be intact, but we still have a lot of unanswered questions. So that internal spiritual balance, that internal Christ, is externalizing in such a way to create the answer. What many of us don't realize is that we really are spiritual beings having a physical existence. It's very easy to hear that and to say, yeah, got it, spiritual being, physical existence, okay. But to have it grow legs and have meaning is an entirely different thing. I've studied a lot of science, and I know that as of this date, because of all the research that's been done, the issue of past lives is no longer conjecture, smoke and mirrors, airy-fairy. It's irrefutably proven that past lives is a real thing, that we really do have past lives. What it really means is that we don't end. We transform, we transcend, we transition, but there is an end to this experience, but not to you and I as individual beings of light. So this internal balance, this Christ within, externalizes, meaning every person creates a circumstance that gives you the opportunity to evolve. Evolve means let go of your stuff. Evolve means what does it matter? Let go of the past. Evolve means to bring forth this internal happiness, regardless of what's going on in the world. To bring forth this inner contentment that you know that the purity of what God represents is within you, no matter who you are. Because we look at things so uniquely. We want that divinity to be personal to us. It's personal when you make it personal. It's personal when you have that intimate, opening heart of your own. It's like the Dalai Lama said, no master can hand it to you. He can't do it for you. He can't have the experience for you. You have to have it yourself. And a lot of times, you and I experience this word called fear. Right? Oh, no one does? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm the only one. I spent a lot of time yesterday. I had the opportunity to go out and do things. And in my meditation said, no, today's the day to feed your heart, your soul, and your brain. So I studied some educational materials, did some meditation, and I meditated a little bit on what fear was. And I likened it a little bit to like when we're in Calgary and when we have the snow, and sometimes the temperature is not warm enough to make the snow going away, right? Now I'm from San Diego, so when we hear the word snow, we go, yeah, about 20 minutes worth, and then I'll hit the beach. And it's just, we make sand snowmen in San Diego. But when you come to Calgary, sometimes, you have the snow, it just doesn't go away, it's not warm enough. And fear is sometimes like a dusting of snow. You have to deal with it. You can't just let it sit there. If you do, it just starts piling up. So this is where the courage comes in, each one of us, is to remove that snow or that fear by facing it. But sometimes, what happens when it gets overwhelming? You call your friend with the big mega nuclear snowblower, right, to come over and help you remove the snow. You don't do it by yourself. You're not in this world by yourself. A lot of people say, I am in the universe. That's wrong. You are the universe. There's no separation. One light makes many. When you sit in a church, a lot of times there's an unspoken expectation that when you're receiving a sermon from a speaker, that you go, oh, like who was it, Randy, that was going, Right? Because what is the point of giving a sermon? It's to be evocative. To evoke is to help you to feel within yourself. It's not me to get you to feel. It's to get you to feel within yourself that amazing connection. People that know me, they know I'm a geek, and they know I love electronics, anything to do with light and sound. My degrees are in light and sound. And because I like to study the fundamental harmonics of our universe, everything from solfeggio frequencies to binaural beats, brainwave entrainment, I'm in. So when you have a single light, like this little laser generator is, it actually creates many, many beams of light going out to anyone. I don't know how well it's going to work in here, but I'm going to give it a try. You see? If it were darker, you'd see many more. Right? So my point is, this is one single source of light. And it's shining through what's called a diffractive optical element. But what it means is, as you hold the light, you make many. So the one are many, and the many are one, because there is no separation. I know you can look around the room, and I know you can see each person as a unique, separate, functional being. And yet, what do all the teachers tell us? There's no separation. And it's easy to listen to a lecture and someone say, you are all very much beings of light living in the universe. And you go home, what did the guy say? He told us like we were totally lying. Like, dude. Seriously. I was thinking of changing my name to Dude Seriously because I hear it all the time. So, where does the Christ come from? Christ was the guy's title. It comes from the Greek, meaning the anointed one, or the messenger, or the one who brings the light of the new day. Jesus, or Yehoshua, was the guy's name. And he has been an inspiration for billions. And there's arguments to say, well, when was he really born? You know, did he really exist? How did the teachings come forth? Where does the Bible really come from? Who created it? And yet, here we are with many unanswered questions. We're starting to ask beyond what are written teachings. And it's not that you doubt what's written down, it's that you focus on what is within. Even in the Buddhist scriptures, there's a passage that says, if you find an inner teaching that's more relevant than what's printed here, follow that. Even in, 1 Corinthians 12 through 14, it says, go forth and do all these things. You're supposed to do these things. You're supposed to prophesy. You're supposed to intuit. You're supposed to use your spiritual faculties. You're not just supposed to only think, but to become aware. So every person in this church has this internal balance, these solstices, light and dark, spirit and body, the flow, the balance. And as you apply the balance, as you go out there and say, oh, I got to shovel that snow, but as you do the work, that's what evolves you. There was a wonderful Zen Buddhist master by the name of Suzuki Roshi, and he said, if all you're doing is seeking enlightenment, you're wasting your time on your black cushion. He also said, all this talk about prayer and meditation, if we would just realize we were big mind, we wouldn't have to do any prayer or meditation. So the point is that Christ exists within you. Whether you think of it or not, it is there. It is that you make the effort. Not how long it takes, not when it happens, but that you make the effort right now. Whatever that is. Again, we don't seem to realize as people that we are spiritual beings who create our reality, that you will always manifest the situation or circumstance in a collaboration with God that represents the possibility to evolve. Evolve means erase illusion, see things as they are, dissolve fear and doubt, ascend into higher levels of truth. So that's where the beauty of being who we are is, that purity already exists within you. And if you let it come forth in your unique way, sometimes it's musical, sometimes it's poetic, sometimes it's spiritual. It doesn't matter. I was going to bring a book this morning and I successfully forgot. It's called Karma and Reincarnation by one of my teachers, one of my main teachers, Dr. Hiroshi Motoyama, just celebrated his 88th birthday. And one of the chapters in the book is about a Japanese practice called chosaku, which is a way of living your life to generate the least possible amount of karma. And one of the paragraphs says, whether adjusting shoes in the entranceway or sweeping out the hallway, the world operates by the things that need to be done. Things that must be done should be done. The reason why some things are boring to us is because we're looking at them from a materialistic point of view. In the eyes of the Absolute, all action is the same. So it means that each one of us, we tend to compare ourselves to each other, but uniquely we have that Christed balance within us. And we're meant to uniquely apply what we came here to do. Some of us are musicians, some of us are poets, mathematicians, car mechanics, teachers, and so forth. That's what you're supposed to do. And the more you resonate with that internal purpose, the more you bring forth this unconditional love and purity that you already have, the more you realize that each moment is a collaboration between your spirit and God to manifest your own emancipation from doubt and fear. And the cool thing is, you can do it every moment. Mark Twain was a great American humorist, and he said, quitting smoking's easy. I've done it thousands of times. And but what he's really saying is, you can choose. And you can choose again. And you can choose again. One of my favorite teachers was Paramahansa Yogananda's mentor, a fellow by the name of Sri Yukteswar. And he was a real no BS guru. Loved the guy. And he wrote a book called The Holy Science, and on the flyleaf, the author states about him that, he had a way of answering unasked questions when spoken to, and that he would have been a more popular guru in India had it not been for his candor. Because he was real straightforward, my kind of guy. It's easy enough to look at me here but not realize I was actually raised in the shipyards. My dad owned a shipyard and I worked on the waterfront for 10 years, so I have a very direct way of looking at things. And Yukteswar would have these people come to his ashram and say, well, I really want to be part of your ashram, but I'm a thief. I've been stealing bread so that my family could eat. He says, well, yeah, I know, but just don't do it anymore. So if you have anything that gives you remorse, regret, resentment, let it go. Not that you ignore it, but that you're here now. That's what Christ within means. Ever-evolving, self-unfolding, always renewing. That purity exists within you. All you got to do is bring it forth in the moment. Merry Christmas, everybody.